That is one part of it. The other part of it is that you have to imagine, you have to think of that what is what, because that is science. Okay? You must have a sound logic for certain things. So you see that these are not used as state functions, but these are used happily. And is there anything else? Normally in your curriculum, no. Here it stops. So you had initially two. I am considering this temperature as the empirical one, like the pressure and volume ones. So naturally you had one S, you had U from the two laws, and then from there you have extra 3. Why 3? What is so holy about 3? Okay, and why not those? We have to answer that also. So we start. Okay, so this will be the discussion, primary discussion for today. So we use this combined form. Two things we take it for granted. One, I have already written that there is no non-mechanical work. That is one. And if there is any, we can take account of that. So that can always be ensured. So that is there. The second thing I am considering is that the system is of a fixed chemical composition. So the chemical composition is not varying. So that's why there is no extra term also. For a varying composition, you will have an extra term. Okay? So I am not considering those. So this is the equation. We write it in this way that dE is equal to dDs minus dV. And we say that this means U is a function of S and V. As soon as we write it, you know that du, how to write du? So it will be del u del s v dv and so on. So there are two terms. So naturally one will contain dv, one will contain ds in this form. So that's why we write it like this, and we say that these two are the natural variables for U. And now you can see that this dU at constant V will be equal to TdS. And on the other hand, at constant S, it will be minus PdV. But can you ensure? So the point is this, that we can write certain things mathematically, but can we ensure that? Can we ensure about a process where, say, entropy will remain constant? So it's not easy. Okay? So certain things can be written, but they are not easy in practice. So that's why you can think of, say, eliminating one variable. So we write it like this, that suppose we define some U1 which is U minus Ts. Now it will be immediately apparent that dU1 will then be equal to dU, which is TDS minus PdV, and there will be minus d of Ts. Okay? And from here you will get two terms, minus TDS minus SdT. Okay? And now we can see that this will cancel. Okay? Leaving you with minus PdV minus SdT. And now also you can see that this dU1, now either you keep the volume constant to get is equal to minus SdT, or you can keep the temperature constant to get the relation minus PdV. Earlier it was not so easy to get minus PdV from dU1 by taking constant S. Okay. So this is why this U1 becomes important from the practical point of view. And now you say that this U1, so you call it that this is equivalent to A. So this is why A was required in thermodynamics. Now you consider the other. You say that our starting equation was this. We thus eliminated this ds term. Now suppose you want to eliminate the other dv term. So how do you do it? So now it is pretty easy. You define some u2, which is u. Here is already a minus, so it will be u plus t. Okay, so if you go like this, then du2 will be equal to dds minus pdv plus d of pd. That gives you plus pdv plus dv. And then this PdV term will cancel. Okay? And in this way, you will get that it is equal to QPS plus dV. So thus, you could exchange one variable for the other. The point is this, that one can exchange one variable for the other. This is important to keep either certain things constant, or to see a process where certain things automatically remains constant. So there are processes where entropy is constant, there are processes where the volume is constant, but there are also processes where volume is not constant, rather the pressure remains constant. So in that case you will be using this one. Okay. So we now say that this U2 becomes equivalent to H, because it is U plus PV. So H is the subject. Now naturally there will be another where you like to exchange both. Okay. So then you will have some U3 which is equal to U. So it will be naturally plus minus Ts plus PV. So that you can exchange both the variables. And then in this case you will get dU3 will be equal to dds minus ddv minus d of ts plus d of pv. And that will give you minus SdT and plus ddt. Okay. And now you call this U3 is equivalent to G.